Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Good evening. You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. We'll start with the headlines. As per the royal directives of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, Renaissance Day and Eid al-Fitr leaves for public and private sectors are determined. A committee formed to restudy the civil service law announces that the initial draft of the law and its executive regulations are completed. And 13 Israeli soldiers and 62 Palestinians are killed in fighting in the Gaza Strip. Those are the headlines, and now for the news in details. On the occasion of the Blessed Renaissance Day, the glorious 23rd of July, and as per the royal directives of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, it was decided that Thursday, the 24th of July 2014, will be an official leave for employees at ministries, public authorities, and other departments of the state's administrative apparatus. That came in a decision issued by His Excellency Sayyid Khalid bin Hilal bin Saud al-Busaidi, Minister of the Diwan of Royal Court and Chairman of the Civil Service Council. The Minister extended heartfelt greetings to His Majesty the Sultan on this occasion, praying Allah the Almighty to protect His Majesty, grant him good health, happiness, and a long life, and for the return of this and similar occasions on His Majesty for numerous years to come, the Omani people and the dear homeland further progress and welfare under His wise leadership. On the occasion of the blessed Eid al-Fitr for the year 1435 Hijrah, and as per the royal directives of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, it was decided that Eid al-Fitr leaves for the employees of the ministries, public authorities, and other departments of the state administrative apparatus will start from Sunday, 29th Ramadan, 1435 Hijrah, corresponding to 27th of July, until Thursday, 31st of July 2014. Work will be resumed on Sunday, the 3rd of August 2014. That came in a decision issued by His Excellency Sayyid Khalid bin Hilal bin Saud al-Busaidi, Minister of the Diwan of Royal Court and Chairman of the Civil Service Council. The official working duty after Eid al-Fitr leave will be the same as it was before the beginning of the blessed month of Ramadan. The Minister of Diwan of the Royal Court extended greetings to His Majesty the Sultan on this blessed occasion, praying Allah the Almighty to protect His Majesty, grant him good health, happiness, and a long life, and for the return of this and similar occasions on His Majesty for numerous years to come, and the Omani people and the dear country with further progress and prosperity under His wise leadership, and all Muslims with good omen and welfare. His Excellency Sheikh Abdullah bin Nasser al-Bakri, Minister of Manpower, issued a ministerial decision determining leave on the Blessed Renaissance Day, the glorious 23rd of July, to be on Thursday, July 24th, 2014. Which will be an official leave for employees of the private sector's companies and establishments. The decision allowed employers and employees to agree to compensate the leave if the necessity arises. Employees whose weekly off coincides with the leave must be compensated. All employees of the private sector extended heartfelt greetings and best wishes to His Majesty Sultan Qaboos on this occasion, praying to Allah the Almighty to protect His Majesty, endow him with good health, happiness, and a long life, and for the return of this and similar occasions on His Majesty and the Omani people with blessings and well-being. His Excellency Sheikh Abdullah bin Nasser al-Bakri, Minister of Manpower, has issued a ministerial decision stating the Eid al-Fitr 1435 Hijrah leave at the private sector companies and establishments. The leave will start from Sunday 29th Ramadan 1435 Hijrah, corresponding to July 27th, till Thursday, July 31st, 2014. The decision allowed employers and employees to compensate the leave if necessity arises. Employees whose weekly off coincides with the leave must be compensated. All employees of the private sector extended their greetings and best wishes to His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, requesting Allah the Almighty to preserve His Majesty, endow him with good health, happiness, and a long life, and for the return of this and similar occasions on His Majesty, the Omani people, and all Muslims with blessings and welfare. In response to the royal orders of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos bin Saeed in relation to forming a committee from different respective ministries to restudy the existing civil service law and other career laws in force at the different administrative units of the state, which will be governed by the standardized schedule, and to identify areas of weakness in the law, which emerged during its actual implementation, so as to standardize them at a single civil service law applicable on all units that apply the standard schedule. The committee was mandated to complete its work and present the new law before the end of July 2014. The committee has completed the initial draft of the civil service law and its executive regulations. The remaining steps and procedures for their promulgation will be completed soon. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has sent a cable of greetings to His Majesty King Philippe of Belgium on the occasion of his country's National Day. The tender board awarded in the first half of 2014 projects that mounted to more than 616.3 million Omani Riyals compared to 857.2 million Omani Riyals for the same period last year. The most important projects assigned were the second phase of Bidbid Sur Road dualization, additional works on coastal Khasab Tibat Road in Musandam Governorate, dualization of Taqa Mirbat Road in the Governorate of Dhafar, and the dualization of Aqabat Rustaq Road. His Excellency Sheikh Abdullah bin Nasser al-Bakri, Minister of Manpower, signed today 23 agreements for the training of 533 national manpowers at a cost of around 1.5 million Omani Riyals. The agreements, which came as part of the training mingled with employment program, include many crafts, administrative and technical professions, in addition to operating vehicles, heavy equipment, cashiers and others. The seminar on partnership between Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry Sohar branch and the Raft Fund stressed that the culture of self-employment and establishment of small and medium-sized enterprises are increasing. The seminar highlighted the importance of setting up such enterprises during the coming period due to the economic changes and the global trend towards business sector. Officials in charge of the fund emphasized that there are no obstacles in financing youth projects, pointing out that the number of beneficiaries from the fund's programs is increasing. The government allocated around 24 square kilometers as coastal touristic area in the wilaya of Duqm and the governorate of Al-Wusta. The wilaya enjoys rare geological formations and good weather, which makes it an ideal touristic destination after the roads and infrastructure projects are completed. The four-star hotel, Crown Plaza, is one of the first touristic projects in the wilaya. It also includes a three-star city hotel Duqm, which is nearby the Duqm port and dry dock. Duqm Frontage City opened as the first residential complex, including 250 apartments and 94 flats. And still to come in our news bulletin, activities of Ramadan program concluded in the wilaya of Al-Musana'a. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. Israel's military said 13 soldiers were killed in a series of attacks in the Gaza Strip today, the heaviest Israeli death toll in a single day of battle in years. Meanwhile, Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas condemned the shelling as brutal Israeli aggression and urges the international community to intervene to stop the bloodshed. Abbas declares 3 days of mourning. Palestinian witnesses and officials said at least 62 Palestinians were killed today in Israeli shelling in the eastern Gaza City neighborhood of Shuja'iyya that left bodies strewn in the streets and thousands fleeing for shelter to a hospital packed with wounded. The Israeli military said fighters from Gaza's dominant Hamas group responded with anti-tank missiles and heavy weapon fire in some of the bloodiest fighting since Israel launched its Gaza offensive 13 days ago. A 2-hour humanitarian ceasefire in the area, agreed by both sides at the request of the International Committee of the Red Cross, broke down in minutes, with each side blaming the other. Now, Qatar will host a meeting between Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas and UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon today in an attempt to reach a ceasefire agreement with Israel to bring an end to the 12th day of warfare. Due to take place in Doha, the meeting will be headed by the Emir of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, who has been acting as a channel of communication between Hamas and the international community. Activities of Ramadan program concluded in the Wilaya of Al-Masana'a under the auspices of His Highness Sayyid Faisal bin Turki Al Saeed. It was organized by Darwaza for Social Services. The program witnessed a participation from a group of specialists in religious, social and cultural fields. The activities varied among lectures, seminars, as well as training and dialogue sessions and on youth and technology, in addition to educational messages. Around 400 female participants benefited from the program. The concluding ceremony included religious chanting, a play, various competitions, and honoring the participants. The inspection and health monitoring campaign in the Wilaya of Ibra apprehended expatriates violating the law through preparing unhealthy food in the house to be distributed to restaurants and coffee shops. Through the inspection, expired foodstuff were found in addition to unhealthy environment and dirty tools used in cooking food. The bodies concerned in the Ibra municipality exerting efforts to deliver awareness messages to members of the society to make sure whether the food in restaurants and coffee shops is healthy or not. Muscat Securities Market's general index today lost 15.39 points, comprising a decline by 0.21% to close at 7,188 points. The trading value today stood at 7.66 million Omani Riyals, comprising a decline by 10.56% compared to the last session, which stood at 8.56 Omani Riyals. The report released by MSM pointed out that the market value fell by 0.16% to reach about 15.17 billion Omani Riyals. The report added that the value of shares bought by non-Omani investors reached 456,000 Omani Riyals, comprising 5.95%. The value of shares sold by non-Omani investors reached 315,000 Riyals, comprising 4.12%. The net non-Omani investment rose by 1.84% to 141,000 Omani Riyals. And here are the Ramadan times for tomorrow. The Fajr prayers will be at 4:07 a.m. and the Maghrib prayers will be at 7 p.m. And now for the general weather forecast. Cloudy skies will prevail over the coastal areas of the Governorate of Dhofar and nearby mountains, with chances of intermittent drizzle. The rest of the Sultanate will have clear skies with chances of scattered rain, occasionally thunderous, accompanied by gusts raising winds over the Hajar Mountains and nearby areas. Winds will be southerly to southwesterly, moderate to active along the coast of the Arabian Sea, while it will be southerly to southeasterly, light to moderate in the rest of the Sultanate. Seas along the coastal areas of the Arabian Sea will be rough with a maximum wave height of 5 meters, and along the rest of the coast it will be slight to moderate with a maximum wave height of 1.5 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman Television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. As per the royal directives of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, Renaissance Day and Eid al-Fitr leaves for public and private sectors are determined. A committee formed to restudy the civil service law announces that the initial draft of the law and its executive regulations are completed. And 13 Israeli soldiers and 62 Palestinians are killed in fighting in the Gaza Strip. With that, we come to an end to tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studio, good night.